And welcome back to Kirby 64. I'm Maestro.
I'm Axel.
And we gotta do our bomb combos, because we haven't got a chance to do that yet.
Because bombs are exciting.
Mm-hmm. And look at our heads-up display.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, this is the last one you can choose from in the whole game.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep. And so we go away, and then we come right back to the same screen for double bomb.
Huzzah. Missile. Oh, they come out of his mouth.
Yeah, well, pretty much everything does.
I didn't notice that before. That is kind of scary.
Okay. And we go back to the first level. This is going to be like a little tour of everything we've seen.
Yay.
Bomb and burn. Fireworks! Fireworks for your face!
I like how Kirby looks like he's in pain.
Wow, he's basically exploding. Yeah, so that's probably one of the most effective power-ups in the game.
It's like he knows the way it's about.
And then we go to the water world. Bomb and stone.
Just a little dynamite.
Yeah.
Oh god. Hello.
Now we go to Neo Star.
Neo Star.
Bomb and ice. Exploding snowman of doom. Yeah, so like I said, we've pretty much seen all these combos before, so...
All of the combos.
Now.
Factory of Doom.
And this is probably... I think this is your favorite.
This is my second favorite.
Well, yeah. Our favorite is a given, though.
That one, I just love that one. It's so cool.
Light bulb!
Light bulb. This heads-up display is so awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm having more fun looking at that than I am watching all these.
Well, you know, gotta save the best for last. Even though you're only gonna be staring at it for like 2 minutes.
No. Okay.
Okay. What? Wait a minute.
Up.
That doesn't look right. What are we doing? So apparently we missed a crystal. So we'll be right back with that. I'm sorry about this, folks. This is really unprofessional. But it's just...
Wait, I thought we got that one.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, clearly we didn't. The game must have glitched.
Like, I could've... What?
Hey, it's flashing.
Look, just gotta.
Like, but we still won. Like, I don't. Right. So we'll go ahead and take care of this real quick. So yeah, as you can see, the power-ups are pretty much useless.
Yeah.
Except for that, and that, and that.
That was pretty cool. Useless.
So we come right back. As you can see, we're almost dead again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Kirby. Oh, this looks familiar.
Yep.
And the darkness was expelled.
Mm-hmm.
Jedi power Kirby activate. Oh, goodness. Oh. This is different.
Well, that's not ominous. Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. Cell phone! To the rescue. He's using
Wait
a
for it.
Nokia.
He had to call his warp star, and it almost left him. Now,
Oh
to
my
end this
goodness.
once and for all. Now, this is, by hands down, the most difficult level of the entire game.
Is it because of, like, platforming, or...
Because of everything. Just watch. Watch and see how hard this actually is.
Oh my goodness. One up.
See, she has to give you a one-up because they know you're gonna die a bunch.
Oh god.
Okay, and so here's the final boss.
It's a fairy. It's a... Oh my god, it's a Digimon.
It's O2.
It is. We're fighting a Digimon. That's all I know. What kind of power-up do we have?
We have wings and crystal.
Wings and crystal?
Mm-hmm. So as you can see here, the point is to shoot the crystal beams into his eye. You can see the little blood coming out.
Yeah.
And as you notice, there's a specific pattern
To his attacks?
to avoiding them.
Oh.
Then you shoot his halo bandage, and then you shoot his gaseous underside.
That wasn't there before. Oh.
Yeah.
This is screaming Digimon. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, let's face it, all Kirby's enemies could be Digimon. In fact, I think some of them are.
Probably.
So yeah, as you can see, this is tricky at first, but once you get the pattern down, it's a cakewalk.
It is. It seems like it is. This, I really like the gun.
Yeah.
Like, that is my favorite so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, because with the previous boss, they already did, like, you gotta use all your power-ups to defeat it.
Yeah.
So now they're just kind of like, now, spam A.
Get the last power up of the game.
Oh, we're so close.
Do you actually damage him when you're hitting his eye or no?
No. You just have to hit his eye enough to trigger being able to hit his halo to trigger that green thing.
So the only time you actually damage him is
Yeah.
the green thing. You have to hit his boo-boo. You have to hit his boo-boo. His boo. He's just flailing.
Yeah, and he's dead.
That is some wild, wild flailing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's creepier than Kirby's needle attack. See? We did blow up the Death Star. We have saved the galaxy.
Technically, we blew up the Dark Star, but hey, fireworks!
It was the Death Star
And
2.0.
Look at it!
See, and this is the final ceremony for when they blew up the Death Star, and Kirby's being awarded with the
Look.
medallion.
And a kiss. And he makes a fool of himself.
Well, that didn't happen in Star Wars.
It should have. And that is Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards.
That was a game of proportions.
And look, with the art now, it's all colored in.
Oh, that's a nice touch. So is it the same art? Looks like it's.
Yeah, it's the same art, but they colored it in.
Oh, that's cool. So it was like original sketches, and here's more of the final area.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a cool picture right there. With the robot. Like, I'd put that on my desktop.
Evil robot, Beast Wars. My goodness. This game. This game.
What else can you say about this game but Japan? Also,
Seriously.
mouth.
Oh, it is teeth. What?
That'd be a cool desktop.
That'd be a very interesting. That reminds me of like DDD, or that makes me think that DDD like trained to become a samurai.
He probably did. He mastered the way of the hammer. Like the same person who taught him also taught Mario.
Oh goodness. I think Mario kind of just ditched it though.
Oh, he pulls it out from time to time.
This is true. Mainly to beat Donkey Kong.
Look at that. He's bleeding. That's just creepy.
We still blew up the Death Star.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, so that was Kirby 64. Would you like to start?
That was a game.
Yes.
That is about all I can really say. I mean, I said it earlier in a previous episode. This game has literally been nothing but cuteness and death.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all you can sum it up as.
Oh god. This is like if someone took what is it? Oh, if someone took the Bambi's mom death scene and just played it over and over and over again. It's cuteness and then death.
That's really macabre.
It is, but that is what this game was.
Yeah. Yeah, but then that's kind of cute. Kirby's MO across the entire series. It's just, because I mean, like, the main game for itself is all cute and fluffy and light and fun with its heavy hitting hard moments. But then when it gets to the boss fights, with the exception of probably Wispy Woods, is when it starts getting really demented and deranged.
No. No kidding. Even, like, you could even say that Wispy Woods was demented in a sense. I mean, honestly, who could think of a tree that just is so angry it can literally control the winds around you, practically?
A killer tree.
It's like, that is the most patient of assassins ever.
It's like, no, they will come to me.
Sad thing is that he will outlive them, so his assassination is gonna work.
Not if Kirby has anything to say about it.
Kirby will just eat him.
Oh my god.
But all of that aside from what makes Kirby Kirby, that was a very fun game. Like,
It's a solid Kirby experience, I feel. But, okay, so what's your experience with the Kirby series been?
outside of Smash Bros, which is not
I don't think that counts.
I did play Kirby, one of Kirby's Adventures game. No, Kirby Return to Dreamland, I think it was. I believe I played that, but I didn't beat it, and I didn't get very far into it. I was just kind of running around, just kind of messing around in it, and I got distracted by other games.
Yeah, that happens. But, because, I mean, this, for all intents and purposes, was my first Kirby game. Because, like, I didn't have a Game Boy, so I couldn't play any of those games, and I didn't have a Super Nintendo or anything like that growing up. But I knew Kirby from, like, the original Smash Bros, and I had friends who played it, and like, it was cool. So I gave it a shot, and that's why I said earlier, like, I think the game works very well for, like, an introductory game to the series. I mean, because it's got a, like, as far as, like, the power-ups go, which is Kirby's bread and butter,
Yeah.
it's very simple because it sticks to just mainly elemental powers. Because you got fire, ice, stone, spark, and then you got bomb, cutter, needle. Like it plays it very familiar. So like it gets you used to doing all that stuff because it's in the other Kirby games where they pull out all the weird stuff like mirror, copy, and all that stuff.
Oh goodness.
Mic.
Ah.
Actually, that would have been interesting to see how they did that in this game.
I will kill you with the power of sound. I have a feeling that they really did that just because karaoke is so big in Japan.
Yeah, probably. But in all honesty, I'd like to see another game like this with the combo system, but like a bit more developed. Like it features some more of the Kirby's more familiar power-ups. Like I want to see him do something with Parasol.
Parasol? Is that like a prominent one, or is that just because Parasol?
Because Parasol.
Okay.
I mean,
Peach can't be the only one to use one.
no. It's like, I demand equal rights for both men, women, and pink puffs.
Oh, goodness. What I do like about this one is because I have no previous Kirby experience. Excuse me. Because I have no previous Kirby experience, it was very easy to follow. Like, I didn't need to know who the penguin with the hammer was. I didn't need to know who that first red weird blob was.
Yeah.
And I didn't need to know who Paint Girl was. I just needed to know they are friends. And they
Yeah,
help
I
me.
mean, it also gives you an insight to their characterizations as well, because, like, with Waddle Dee, like, you get, like, oh, like, this is my best bud, or whatever.
Yeah.
With Adelaide, she's just, the painter, and all that. But with King Dedede, you get this sort of sense of friendly rivalry between them, even from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because you get to see two of them interacting before he gets turned.
Yeah, you get to see them, like, yeah, they're rivals. They don't, or at least Dedede doesn't really like Kirby as much. They didn't really,
Yeah.
And then he becomes evil. Kirby saves him. Now Dedede was like, I want to be a hero too.
Yeah, and that's pretty much Dedede's entire MO. Like, he wants to be celebrated like Kirby, but he doesn't want to be such a good guy about it.
It seems to be his thing. I think I remember watching one of the earlier cartoons, like when the Sonic cartoon was out. They had the Kirby one too, and I think I remember seeing one of the episodes where Dedede was just mad for some reason, and he just sent like a random monster to go fight Kirby just because he was mad. I was just like,
Yeah.
What? Dedede, why?
Okay. And I think another thing we need to look at as far as this game goes is, like, this was also Kirby's first game in 3D. But how much of it can you really say it's a 3D platformer? Because most of it's just 2D, or 2D gameplay on it with 3D polygons.
I guess you could say this was probably one of the original, what do they call it, 2.5D games. Because, I mean, the graphics, granted, for being N64, they were amazing. And for being a 3D Kirby game, you were like, yeah, this is awesome. But
it gives you that feeling of depth.
I think they couldn't... I think they didn't want to do a full immersive 3D like Super Mario, because I think they probably either one, they like had a time schedule, or like a time to push this game out that they wanted, or because they thought about it and then they were like, oh my gosh, this can go so much, like, it can become bigger than Super Mario, and they didn't want to, I guess.
I don't think it's so much that, because I mean, I know, like, Kirby 64 originally started as a different project, but then ended up becoming the Crystal Shards over its development period.
Okay.
Because I know, as far as I remember, in the original one, the combos thing wasn't part of it.
Uh-huh.
Like that came in the middle of development, which I think is probably the best thing about the entire game. But it can help. You have to help but wonder, like, what if Kirby went full on 3D like Mario 64? Like, could something like that work?
I think it could. I mean, granted, all we have from now is just Kirby being 3D in a 2D world.
Yeah.
I mean, even the newer Kirby games that are coming out, that came out for like the Wii and everything, they're still 2D. Like, you're still stuck on this 2D going back and forth thing.
Yeah, because I think the main thing is, like, Kirby's main form of attack is, sucking enemies. And I don't know. I'm not too sure how well it would come out in straight when we also have Z-axis with the X and Y.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where the problems come in, but I would think that this is something that Nintendo would eventually want to take a stab at, because, I mean, Nintendo is known for taking risks, and that is a risk because Kirby is a big franchise. It is known for being 2D. It is known for being this simple, cute, fun game.
Well, you never know. We might end up seeing something like that on the Wii U.
See, now that would be more interesting.
Like I said, I said this a few minutes ago. Like, I'd like to see another game like this, and I think with the combo system and with the way the Wii U is designed, I think they could take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine it, and I could see it working. Like, I can see 3D, full immersive 3D Kirby working. It would be very great.
In an HD? Ooh. No, I think we also need to discuss the elephant in the room and the fact that this game plays almost exactly like Super Smash Brothers. Like,
this came after Smash Bros, right?
It came before, but as you can probably tell, they reused a lot of the same mechanics and I think the same engine when making Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can see that, like, it's the 3D on the 2D static backgrounds, and all the characters running around doing their own thing.
Yeah. I think the similarities are just so there. It's kind of hard to miss it.
Yeah. I mean, they were both made by the same guy, so, I mean, come on.
It was, yeah. I wonder if that was another reason why they wanted to keep it that in this 2D, 3D world type thing. If they wanted to use it as, like, a test area for Smash Bros.
I could kind of see that. Because, I mean, like, the project pretty much went through a total upheaval midway through, so what we got is what we got. What we got was great, but like, you can see a lot of those design nods to Smash Brothers. And fun fact, Kirby was almost not in the game because, Sakurai didn't want to kind of abuse his IP like that with just like, well, I'm making it, so I'm throwing my character in there.
Good guy, Sakurai. But, I mean, I'm glad he did, and Kirby is one of Nintendo's poster boys, so.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily so much as Mario Link is, but he's like on the same tier with like Samus and Fox,
Yeah.
Not quite multi-platinum, but they're gold.
Yeah. They're still at the point where if you see them, you will think Nintendo. You will know Nintendo.
And you're like, hey, let's give that a shot. Which is really all you can ask for.
Yes.
But, I mean, it is curious to think that Sakurai hasn't announced any plans to make a new Kirby game, especially on the Wii U, but then again, he's busy.
Just a little bit.
Because I know, like, he doesn't like working on more than, or talking about more than one project at once, but
he might be, like, I guess, kind of starting, like, early stages, but
I'd imagine he'd be testing the waters with it, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, because there's still quite a few franchises that have to make their way to the Wii U.
You know, I'm also kind of surprised they haven't released or announced, even talked about, hinted at a new Metroid or a
Hmm.
new Star Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, but then again, those are two entirely different companies, so we'll have to save that discussion for another time. But I think with that, that was Kirby 64. I think you described it pretty eloquently as cute and deadly.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not gonna get these images out of my head.
no, like you. God, man, I thought Zelda was bad. Because it's interesting. Like when I was a kid playing for the first time, like I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, that's weird. But now, like I have a better sense of what should and shouldn't be. It's like, are you sure that's what you want to go with, guys? All right. I think we should end this by listing our top 3 favorite power-ups from the game. I'm going to give you the privilege of going first with your third.
With my third,
Yeah.
my third was probably the ice skates. Those
Yeah.
were pretty. I don't know. I just like the idea of the thing of a power up that made you move fast, but also had this attacking side of it, the offensive. So it was nice.
Yeah, my third would probably have to be the snowball of death.
That one
I mean,
was
because
good.
like it's pretty much unstoppable, and like you just and, like if you got a long enough stretch to just start rolling and nothing would stop you. Oh my god, it was so satisfying when you ended it and spit all those enemies out and exploded. It's just,
Oh my goodness, there were a lot of power ups though, and then I mean
yeah,
just narrowing down to 3 is hard, but I guess my second one would be the shuriken, exploding shuriken of death.
yeah. There's like it had that nice element of surprise because like. I know back when I was a kid, when I first got that combo, I'm like, okay, bomb and cutter. Neat. What does it do? Press B. I don't get it. Move a little bit further down the screen, try it again. Hits an enemy and explodes. I'm like, neat. And then I threw it away immediately. I didn't know how to appreciate things when I was a child.
Well, I mean, it seems like a difficult ability to, I guess, get the hang of. Especially since if you
Yeah.
don't realize that it's almost instantaneous.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Like, it's got that little bit of hang time, but, like, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, I think, like, as you saw in the game, in the playthrough anyway, in the hands of a quote-unquote skilled gamer, like, more often than not, that would be your weapon of choice. Like, in any other game, that would probably be your weapon of choice.
Yeah.
Alright, my number 2 is either going to have to be a tie between the fireworks or the double spark.
The double spark was cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, it was basically a working shield, because as long as you had that thing up, it didn't hurt you, and you could move with it, albeit very slowly, but, like, it was instant death to anything that touched it. And kind of the same thing with the fireworks.
Yeah.
But that was mobile. But if I had to pick between just the one, I'd actually probably go with the fireworks.
Just because it's faster mobility.
Yeah, and it actually has a bigger attack radius the more you do it.
Yeah. I would. The fireworks reminds me just of such a cool. Or it doesn't really remind me, but it just makes me think of like such an awesome ability just because it is. You know, being able to just constantly be in the air. Does it have a set limit of how many times you can jump in the air?
You can do it in cycles of 3. So you do 1, 2, 3, stop for about a second, then 1, 2, 3, then so on and so forth.
Oh, okay.
But you can keep spamming it enough to where you can just stay airborne.
No.
The thing is, you can't really get more lift. Like, you can't go higher than what you started as.
But you can
So-
definitely stay in the air.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty awesome.
I think we're agreed on our number 1. Would I be safe in assuming that? Okay, we're careful now. We don't want to get sued.
That's okay. It was less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, the lightsaber. Oh my god. Dude, imagine you're like 8. And like Star Wars Episode 1 just came out. You start up this game and you see that.
That is an awesome feeling. I wonder if Japan knew about it.
Oh yeah, of course they did.
Like, if Japan knew how big Star Wars was going to be, I wonder if they specifically did it because they thought it.
Star Wars is a global phenomenon, and I'm pretty sure they knew how big of a deal it actually is.
Yeah, but...
I mean, you also have to realize, Nintendo's not afraid to make references to Western media. I mean, what is it? The Mother series is just nothing but the Western culture interpreted by Eastern standards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing new, but at the same time, oh my god, it's so satisfying.
It was very satisfying.
It's just the greatest. Just the greatest.
If you could pull that out in any other game, just instant. Weapon of choice forever.
Unfortunately, the only game you can use it in is, what, the thousands of terrible Star Wars games out there?
Thousands of terrible Star Wars games.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the only thing we have to figure out now is what's next? What's the next flight gonna be?
I don't know.
Well, I do. It's going to be Yoshi's Story.
Yoshi!
Yeah, so as you notice, we're just going from one cutie kid game to another. So, look forward to that one.